You know that feeling after a launch, strategy was sharp, the messaging felt aligned, the offer was solid, but the results, meh. Maybe people said they loved it, but they didn't buy. Maybe you felt more invisible than inspired, or maybe the energy just felt off from the start. It's frustrating, especially when you did everything right. Here's something I've learned after years of supporting high integrity entrepreneurs. It's not always the offer, it's often the season. I'm Sheri Moise, intuitive business astrologer and launch strategist. I help seasoned entrepreneurs grow their businesses with clarity, timing, and strategy that actually supports how they work, not the way someone else told them it should be. Today, I'm giving you a sneak peek into a powerful tool I use with my clients, the sun cycles. This is part 2 of 3 of my behind the scenes of an AstroStrategic launch series. So let's dive in. Most entrepreneurs, what I see, build their launch according to their calendar. They get a little strategic and map it to their capacity. But very few stop to ask, what's the collective energy right now or when I plan to launch? And how does that shape what people are ready to say yes to? Every time the sun changes cycles, roughly every 30 days, it shifts the lens through which we all see and decide. Your audience's priorities change. Their emotional bandwidth can be changing. Their behavior shifts, often in ways you can't explain with just logic. That's why your offer can feel magnetic in one season and totally fall flat in another. The difference is timing, but not just on the surface. It's energetic. So let's talk about what this looks like behind the scenes. When I'm supporting a client with their launch timing, one of the things we look at first is what kind of decision-making energy does this offer require? Then we'll match that to the sun cycle that naturally supports that energy. It's not about perfection. It's about giving your audience the best possible chance to connect, engage, and say yes. Let me give you a little sneak peek behind the curtain with 3 real-world examples of how sun cycles shape audience readiness. Let's start with Leo season. Leo season, big, bold energy means bold offers. So the vibe during this cycle is visibility, creative expression, personal power. So that makes it a great cycle for offers that are leadership position, personal brand offers, retreats, or programs that help people shine. Behind the scenes, this is about launches that invite your audience to step into the spotlight, take bold action, or claim their next level. These are those kinds of launches that we want to land during this cycle. This is definitely a season of being seen, and people are more drawn to confident messaging, storytelling, and those sneak peeks behind the scenes. That time frame we're looking at is July 22nd to August 22nd. Let's look at another season. Let's look at Scorpio season. I love this cycle. It is all about truth telling and transformation. Let's just say the things that nobody wants to say, but we're all thinking. So this is really the vibe is about depth, emotional intensity, and trust building. Great for mindset work, trauma-informed coaching, inner healing, or anything that promises real change. So behind the scenes, let's look at what these offers might look like. We know for sure that in this cycle, shallow offers or hypey messaging fall flat here. People are craving realness. This is a good time to launch something that really meets people at the core and holds space for lasting transformation. Time frame, we're looking at October 22nd, approximately, to November 21st, 22nd. All right, let's take a left turn and look at a totally different energy, Capricorn season. Capricorn, structure, strategy, commitment. Those are the words that we might associate with Capricorn cycle. So the vibe, we're looking at long-term goals, systems, sustainable growth, great for business building programs, high commitment containers, or tools that help people lead and create structure. So behind the scenes, this is where your audience is planning, setting goals, and thinking about return on their investment. So clear timelines, step-by-step outcomes, and the long-term impact speak louder in this cycle than emotional appeal. And that time frame is December 20th to January 19th. So let's talk about what happens when you get it right. When your offer matches the season, your audience feels it. They lean in faster. They trust the timing. They're more likely to take action, not because you pushed harder, but because the energy was already primed. And this is what I mean when I say right offer, right energy, right time. That's when launches feel easy and results flow. So if you want to launch at the right time, not just the scheduled time, this is one of the first shifts I make with my launch support clients. Whether we're looking at a full multi-phase launch plan or tweaking messaging for an upcoming offer window. So if you're ready for your next launch to really land the way you want it to, when we work together, we'll identify the season that supports your specific offer, map messaging to what your audience is craving, and plan a timeline that works with your energy and theirs. This is how we put things into motion that don't require you to push harder to get better results. You just need the right timing and a strategy that reflects it. So, want to know what season supports your next launch? This is just the beginning. In the next video in this series, I'll show you what it actually looks like to plan a launch that feeds you, not drains you, by mapping your strategy to your personal energy cycles. Because yes, you can launch in a way that protects your capacity and amplifies your results. And if reading this has you wondering whether your last launch was mistimed, or if you're staring at the calendar trying to figure out when to go live, let's talk. This is exactly the kind of clarity I bring to every AstroStrategic launch support. So book a Cosmos coffee chat and let's explore the right support for your next launch. You can find that link in the comments. And tell me in the comments as well. I'd love to know, how did your last launch feel? What did you feel like the energy was like? Do you feel like timing could have been a factor if you didn't get the results you desired? And any Ask for Curious questions you have, I'm here for it. But stick around for part 3 of this series. It's really going to close the loop on all that we've been talking about. And I will see you in the next video.